Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Customer Connect event where we talk about our latest developments in the NetBeez sphere. Today, we'll be talking about NetBeez AI, the latest developments in NetBeez AI, specifically about coding agents and the NetBeez MCP. With me, I have Stefano. Hi, Stefano. How are you doing?
Hey everyone, we're good, thank you.
So what we will be covering today is, first of all, what are AI agents, how they work, what is an MCP, and how to use the NetBeez MCP. So I'm sure you're familiar with the chatbots, AI chatbots. Usually they're available on a website like ChatGPT. You interact with the chatbot by asking questions, and the chatbot interacts with a large language model, gathers information, compiles the response, and responds to you in real time. So it's a question and answer kind of interaction. And the chatbot can also integrate with other sources of information like data sources, APIs, and so on. And it can fetch information and present it to you on this chat interface. There are a few chatbots publicly available. People are rolling their own and so on. But the real power comes with agents and agentic AI. So the difference between agents and chatbots is that an agent is a process that runs on compute resources. So an AI agent has access to compute, it has access to file system, network, applications installed on the machine that is running, and it could be your own laptop, it could be a VPC, a virtual machine, and so on. And again, the AI agent interacts with you using prompts. So it could be, again, question response. It has access to the LLM. But then depending on what you ask it to do, an agent can take an action. So it can run a program, it can run an application, it can come up with a custom script on the fly and run it to analyze some data and so on. There are hundreds of different agents available right now, like agentic coding agents like Codex, Cursor, Cloud Code, AWS Kiro, Copilot, and so on and so forth. Now, on what is the MCP is the Model Context Protocol, which provides extra resources for the AI agent to work with, such as data sources, tools, and workflows that are all defined in an MCP, and they are registered to your AI agent to provide access to file system, to databases, interact with the browser on the machine it's running on, do sub-agent orchestration, spin up more agents, and so on. So it's really very powerful. It acts as a user that interacts with the machine that is running on. So how does the NetBeez MCP come into play? So you would have your AI agent running on the compute that you allocate, and you would install that our MCP server on that same machine, and the NetBeez MCP will interact directly with your NetBeez server. Now, why is this important? Is because like running on the same machine as your AI agent that you're interacting with allows you to interact with a NetBeez server that could be on-prem, for example. So if you're running this within the same network, then you have direct access to your NetBeez server on-prem or on the cloud if you're running a cloud server. So let's see how it works. So in order to be able to use the NetBeez MCP, you need a NetBeez dashboard and a subscription to an LLM platform such as OpenAI, Claude, Copilot, and so on. And we are releasing our MCP server on GitHub on this repository. And here you'll find all the information regarding the implementation of our MCP server, how to install it, and the kind of information that the MCP server makes available to your AI agent, and how to configure it, some base URL, API keys, and so on. So let's go ahead and install the NetBeez MCP on my machine here. So let me switch to terminal. I run the command. It checks if the necessary requirements are installed already. It will set them up, and then it asks you a few questions on configuring your MCP server. In our case, we'll use our demo dashboard. You need an API key. You can copy and paste it from your dashboard as read-only or read-write if you want to also push changes to your NetBeez server through the MCP, and verifying SSL certificates and so on. Then it goes ahead, tests the connection, all good, and then it asks you which specific AI agents you want to enable with this MCP server. So you can do Cursor, Cloud Desktop, Windsurf, Codex, or Kio. So now the agent is installed, and the MCP server is installed, and we can now interact with it. I just run my executable here that starts the AI agent. In this case, it's Cursor. And I can start asking it questions. So let me just show you a simple report about producing a table that will show you whether a remote worker agent has their wired Wi-Fi or VPN interfaces connected. This was actually a question that the customer asked me recently, and this is a great way to produce this kind of custom reports. So you just describe what you want. The more detail you include here, the better the results you're going to get. But you can see here the agent is going and using tools provided by the MCP server, and then it compiles the report and tells you where it put that report to. So let's go here to another terminal and view that report. So it basically produces a table with all the information that I asked, simple and fast. So I'll hand it over to Stefano now to show you a few more use cases using his agents. Stefano,
All right, yeah.
all yours.
Thank you. And yes, what I'll show you now is some simple prompts to do network troubleshooting, which is probably one of the most top interests for you guys that want to test this MCP server integration. So I will share my screen, and this is my codex. And I just have the desktop version while Panico was showing you the CLI version. Overall, it's the same concept. I have installed as well the MCP server previously, so everything is loaded and ready to go. So this is connected to our demo instance. And I'll start with a simple prompt where, for example, today we had a user in San Jose that was complaining about slow access to application. So I'm gonna, type that. And so I'm gonna ask it to analyze NetBeez data for that location for the past 3 hours, should be enough, to identify where the degradation is occurring, right? So I want to make sure that I can identify if the problem is LAN, WLAN, internet service provider, or the application itself.
You have a small typo on degradation there.
Thank you. I'll leave it anyway. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
smart enough. And then I'm gonna ask it to summarize the finding in a table format because sometimes they might be very, how do you say?
Open-ended.
Yes, and so I wanna a bit keep it shorter at least for this in a table format with the score of quality, let's say from 1 to 5 to make it easy, 1 to 5 stars. There you go, and then press enter. So now the LLM is gonna do its magic. As you can see, they keep you in the loop on what's happening. And you can also like actually click and see the details for the API calls. So of course that's what is going on underlying from an interaction with the NetBeez services using basically API calls, nothing new, but then the data is and the overall logic is within the LLM. So you don't know exactly what's going on behind there. You just know that is crunching some some tokens as they call them, and then eventually get back to you.
Yeah,
So
and the more powerful thing is that the more information you provide to the LLM, the better your results are going to be. So if you're looking to do, deep analysis on your topology or, like get things, combine data from multiple sources, you can either connect multiple MCPs to different tools in your environment, but also, simply provide documentation from your network configuration to the LLM, and then the LLM will be able to combine it with your NetBeez data and give you more insightful information.
Yeah, in fact, it would be nice to see integrated with MCP, say from SNMP tools. I don't know if SolarWinds or other tools have something similar, but it would be nice then to see data enriched. And
Yep.
so you can really gather data from the client perspective, from NetBeez, and then you enrich it with the SNMP, polls, and then and maybe NetFlow. And then you really have even a more complete picture of what could be the underlying. Of
Right.
course, NetBeez reports primarily client perspective data, so still can tell you where on the network layer could the problem be. But of course, you always need the network perspective as well.
Yeah. And it could combine that data with path analysis to see on a hop by hop basis
Right.
when it knows which nodes are yours, which nodes are outside your network, and so on.
Yeah, exactly. So it looks like we start having some results. There you go. It also has an evidence. I want to just remove this evidence. Let me do reprint the table without the evidence to make it a column. Let's see if it's a bit more what I was looking for. And then we can analyze the results. There you go. All right. So we have the different layers, let's say, broken down. We have the quality in terms of stars. And it looks like in this case, the most likely the between the LAN and the Wi-Fi, they're both pretty much unstable. The ISP also is not the primary root cause, although it looks like it's not a very great download and upload speed, I guess. And the application overall is pretty good. So the most likely root cause is the Wi-Fi LAN, most likely the wireless link or home gateway under contention interference. So that's something definitely where it can help us nail down the root cause and go straight into that kind of layer to troubleshoot.
So the user was right to complain.
Exactly. Yes, it looks like there was a valid complaint, was not just user perception. So that was good. So now let's maybe take it a bit wider. We can show maybe if we have time for another prompt. I actually like one prompt where we can analyze the average kind of download and upload speed through all my locations. and then maybe also give us a report by ISP. We want to understand which ISP might be right, the quality of each ISP. So let me show you
Well, that
this
sounds
prompt.
like a complex task.
Let's see how long it takes. It might be
Yeah.
quick, and this will be the very last prompt. So I'm gonna ask, analyze the download and upload speed associated with each agent that I have deployed. Then let's ask average these metrics, aggregating them by internet service provider. Let's go ISP so then I can just use that abbreviation. So compute, now maybe that let's say that print a summary table for each ISP with these metrics. And then I make sure that maybe use only NetBeez data to file your answer to make sure that, right, sometimes it doesn't like fabricate any data. That sometimes it may happen. And let's see what happens. So this is a good report that generally like we get a lot of these requests, and this is something also NetBeez per se can generate an ISP report where you can see the download and upload speed by internet service provider, especially if you have like a distributed workforce. You want to do a qualitative and quantitative assessment for the ISP download and upload to see which provider might be better than others for certain users. And so this could be a very good example of right integration of AI with NetBeez. And yeah, let's see what happens. And this last time I did it, I tested a bit. Seems pretty fast actually.
Yeah, one thing to note when you're starting to work on more complex tasks, something that I found very useful is to break it down into 3 phases. First, use the LLM to do research, like ask the LLM to gather information. Maybe if you are integrating with an API, download the documentation for that API and create kind of a summary of understanding of the things that you want to put together. And then on the second step is to ask the LLM to create a plan. And most of these agents have a plan mode, which will, so at the plan stage, you ask the agent specifically what you want your outcomes to be, your requirements. So then the agent will create a plan. It will break down the problem into multiple subtasks. And then at the final stage, after you do all this, then you ask the agent to implement the plan. And that way, the agent already has a structure and a very good idea and understanding of what it needs to implement. And of course, on the second step, you can go back and forth to make changes to the plan that it came up so that in the end, you have a solid plan without too many ambiguities. And the result, after you follow these 3 stages, the result is usually much higher quality than going straight for it.
Yeah, no, definitely. For example, the example of I was working on building some dashboards exactly with the MCP, and I was given as a starting point, we have a public dashboard on GitHub. I was asking the MCP, I mean the AI LLM, to build an extra status page about the SP report that I'm doing now, and another about an agent group report. And yeah, there was some back and forth because probably didn't have a good solid plan. So I
Yeah, it also
basically
helps.
then
The process helps also you to kind of solidify what really you're looking to get out of it.
yeah, and there you go. We have the results. As you can see, we don't have tons of agents, and we have what 6 service provider. order by download, well, by agents included, sorted by those, and then the average download and upload speed. And these are the results. Of course, this is a very simple use case, but as Panico was saying, there can be more complex queries, more complex prompt. And when you do that, it's always good to have a plan and break it down, right?
Yeah.
So at least because if you don't do it, you don't have the data that you're looking for, and then you have to go back and forth and correct basically the LLM and tweak basically your prompt.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it also has to
Well,
do with the context management. It's more
mhm.
complex subject for LLMs specifically, but if you look into context management, you will see that it's better to keep the context short as possible, and ask the LLM to perform small and well-defined tasks.
Cool. Well, maybe we can do another one soon and do
Hmm.
maybe a dashboard, a more complex prompt, and
Yeah,
see how we work that out. Maybe I can
yeah,
give
that would be great.
Penico a challenge and see how he breaks it
Yeah.
down to see how he does it, what's his method, and maybe we can learn something. Um, but
Yeah, and
yeah,
any of you guys are users, if you try this out and you are stuck somewhere, feel free to reach out to us through Intercom, through all the different channels we have available, and we are very happy to hop on a call and help out.
yeah, definitely. We want to help and uh, play more with the real use case, of course, scenarios. And so, yeah.
Mhm.
All right, that's it.
Yeah,
Thank you, Panico, for
yeah, that was
helping
a
out
good
with
session.
this. Yeah, definitely. And thank you all for attending. And we'll see you to the next event. Take
All
care.
right. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.